Hey, my name is Acevedo, and in this video as well as the next few, I'm bringing you my September wrap up in several parts. So this video will be part 1. I read a lot of books in September, so just like in August I have decided to split this video up into several parts so that each video won't get too long, hopefully. I am in my living room right now, so this month's wrap up is going to be a little bit different in the sense that we're in a different location, and you saw as well that the thumbnail is a bit different. I just didn't think I could get all of those books like with myself in one picture. That would not. I didn't think that was a good idea, but I might go back to like holding up a stack of books for next month. I mean October. If I read, not so much in October. I also would like to point out that I am not actually feeling very well right now. By the time you watch this, once I edit it and upload it and everything, I'll probably, hopefully, feel a little better. But in case you're wondering why I'm maybe seem a little bit under the weather, that's because I am. I didn't sleep very well last night because my stomach has been upset. We are having a bit of a situation with our fridge at the moment, so it's possible I ate something that went off because the fridge isn't working properly. But anyway, I don't know exactly what's causing it, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Hopefully by the time you watch this I should feel a little better. And I hope you don't mind being in the living room for once. You can hear some humming. I think that is actually our old fridge that we got out of the garage. So the fridge that came with the kitchen of this house is from 2002. That's the one that's not working properly. So we got out our fridge that we had in the old house, which was in the garage, and I'm using that now as a temporary thing. So that's what the camera is on right now. And sorry about the hum, I hope it's not too bad. Okay, so I read a lot of books in September, but you will see that in this video and the other parts. So the first book I read in September is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have read 2 books before by Elizabeth Acevedo, The Poet X and With the Fire on High. This is her 3rd book. And I really like those other 2 books, and this was excellent in my opinion. This book is written in verse, and that's not always a format that I get along with all that well, but I really like this book. It was an excellent book to start the month off with. I think I finished it the 1st or 2nd of September. And it is about 2 half-sisters who both lose their father in a plane accident, but they don't know of each other's existence in the beginning of the book. So basically the father had like 2 families, if that makes sense. So the book is about grief and family, and so one girl lives in the Dominican Republic, the other girl lives in New York City, and so it is also about Dominican culture and, well, I really like this book. So because I'm not feeling that well, I think we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail with these books, but as always, if you want to know more, let me down in the comments down below. I love this. The next book I read is Middlegame by McGuire. I have read 4 books before by McGuire, the first 4 books in the Wayward Children series, most of which I loved, and 1 or 2 that I didn't like quite as much. This is Middlegame. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Wayward Children series. This is like a whole new world universe. I thought actually that it was a standalone when I started to read it, but that turns out not to be the case, in the sense that there's going to be another book released related to this universe. Or maybe it's already out by the time you watch this, I'm not sure. But anyway. And this is quite a difficult book to describe. I will show you the synopsis here. It is not like any other book that I have read, to my knowledge. also I had heard people describe it in their videos, but it is just so unique that I really had to read it to just like to get a sense of what it's like, because it's just not like anything else. Yeah. I realize that's a bit vague to go on. I'm sorry about that. You can always try reading an excerpt if you're interested. So this is fantasy. It takes place in like a sort of alternate world. It takes place, I think, in the United States. So if you are familiar with some of the locations in the United States that are in this book, you will recognize them. Yeah, so I will try to explain you the synopsis, but yeah, it's one of a kind, and I loved it. I don't know if I actually said that yet, but I really, yeah, this was, in my opinion, an excellent read. Not for everybody, but then again, what book is? So this book is about, so there's two twins, Roger and Dodger. Roger is really good at words, and Dodger, she's very good at maths. They are twins, but they were separated at birth, so to speak. And they both grow up with different adoptive parents, if that kind of makes sense. Like, I feel like that doesn't really cover the fantastical, magical thing that is this book. But yeah, I guess it should kind of be called urban fantasy, in the sense that there like are elements of our real world in it. But anyway, yeah, I love this. Yeah, and now we get to a book I didn't like quite as much, because those exist too. This is Vals Spel by Mirjam Mous. This is a young adult thriller, and I have previously read a couple of books by Mirjam Mous, all of which I really liked or loved. We're here now to talk about Vals Spel. So this is a Dutch young adult thriller. It takes place mostly in Spain. It's about Finn. He goes on holiday to Spain, and he is, I'm just going to tell you about the synopsis, even though it's in Dutch. He has been arrested by the Spanish police, and they suspect him of murder. So the book is kind of taking place in like two timelines. So you have parts where it's about Finn in the jail sort of thing with the police, and then you have you go through his holiday from the beginning, if that makes sense. So he goes to Spain, and his brother, I think, or half brother, I can't remember now, lives in Spain, and they are meant with the two of them to go hiking or something. I can't remember exactly, sorry. But then that falls through, and his brother has other things, so he basically has like no place to stay, but he doesn't feel like going home yet. And then he meets this girl called Val. She speaks Spanish, he doesn't. Anyway, and just, it was okay enough to read, but I found it quite predictable. Not everything, there were some twists I didn't see coming, but some things I thought were quite predictable and quite obvious to me. So in that sense, it wasn't nearly as good as the other thrillers that I have read by this author. She has written also books that are not thrillers, but I'm just talking about her thriller books that I've read at the moment, because, well, that's what this is as well. So I'm talking about her young adult thriller books that I've read. And so this was a bit of a disappointment. I did buy it at a library sale. I can't remember when. So, I mean, I don't regret reading it or anything. It was like a nice enough afternoon or evening or whenever I read this, but like, yeah, I thought it was a bit predictable. So I think I will keep it here for this video, nice and short. There's one thing I do want to mention though. For those of you who have been watching my videos for a long time, you might remember that way back in the day I used to put information for each book on the screen, on the video, detailing things like author, title, pages, genre, publisher, ISBN, type of book, age range, publication year, original publication year, all that. For those of you who remember that, I stopped doing that because it was a lot of effort, and I wasn't sure that like everybody appreciated it. Some people did though. Some people back in the day commented that they liked that. But it's a lot of work for every book to have to keep typing that, putting it all up on the screen. So I stopped doing it at some point. So my question actually is that does anyone miss that information? And if so, which information would you like to see on the screen? Because the author and title, and if the book's part of a series as well, is always in the description of the video. So with timestamps nowadays, so you can find that information there. But I can imagine, at least for myself, I always like to know page numbers for a book for some reason. So if there is specific information that you would like to see on the screen, please let me know, and then I can consider doing it again, but then maybe not quite as detailed as I did the other time. I can't remember actually when I stopped doing that, so it might just have been in like 2018 or first half of 2019, I can't remember when that was. So yeah, also if you have any other comments or anything else to say, please leave it in the comments, because I do like getting notes, comments from my friends and anyone else who might be watching. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully part 2 should be up in a little while. Bye!